Hi, welcome to the first tutorial for Africans for Peace website. For this video, we're going to look at logging in, doing backups to the website, performing updates to keep the website up to date and to keep it secure. And we're also going to talk about how to solve problems for any problems that may arise or find solutions to any questions you might have. Okay, so let's start with logging in. The URL to log in is just go to the website, then click /wp-admin. Then you type in your username and password. And here is the Wordpress dashboard. Okay, the next part we're going to look at is how to create a user and assign a role to that user. For example, I'm logged in as the main account for Africans for Peace. However, if I write a blog post, it's going to say that the author is Africans for Peace, whereas you might want to write a blog post as a specific person. So you'd have to go to users, or actually just add new. Let me see what users we have first. Okay, we've got one, Africans for Peace, and we've got another one here called Mtoko. Okay, so I'm just going to click add new, or I can click it up here. The username, I'm going to use Benji as the example. It's not necessary to add a website, but you can if you like. Wordpress will create a password for you. Make sure you write it down somewhere, or use a password that you'll remember. Please ensure it's a strong password, because these days hacking is very real. It's a very real threat to all website owners. So make sure you have secure passwords and secure measures for maintaining those passwords. Here's where you assign the role. So I want to make Benji an administrator, which means he'll have full access to the website. But I'd say for most other people, you probably want to give people contributor access or author access. You can just play around and see what those two do. So this is now going to send an email to Benji, and he's going to receive an email and going to be asked to create a password to log in. Okay, the next thing I'm going to talk about is backups and updates. Okay, so very often WordPress requires updates to your website or to your plugin specifically. So to know if you need to perform any updates, it usually has a little icon here that says, for example, in the plugins, there'll be a little orange icon and with a number inside it, and it will tell you that plugins need to be updated in order to make sure they're functioning correctly and that they're secure. If you don't update plugins and don't update WordPress, your website becomes, it can become exposed to potential hacking. It's very rare, but it does happen, and I've seen it happen to people who haven't done the appropriate security measures. So this is another place that tells you that you have updates to perform, and at the moment it's just telling us to update the themes that WordPress comes with. So we don't actually need to update these themes because we're using a different theme. However, before you ever do any updates, make sure you do a backup of the site. So you go to Backup Buddy here on the left. I would enter your own settings here, your own email, passwords, and just make it storage local storage, and then save settings, but I'm going to skip for now. Then you want to do a complete backup. This can be a bit of a fiddly process. Sometimes it drops out, but usually it does work. If you ever have any problems with this, please let me know and I'll see if I can assist. As you can see, it's still going through the process, and here is, okay, so all the processes of the backup are ready. Now just click download and it will download the backup file to your computer. Okay, so my backup has downloaded and it's stored to my downloads folder. You can see here, so if anything ever breaks on the website, you can always restore this file to its working form. Okay, so now that we've done that, I can go to the updates if I need to and make necessary updates. What I might do is quickly show you how to make one of these updates on another site that I own. Okay, so this website is my own website. To go and make updates, I would go here. I have the latest version of WordPress updated, but if I didn't, there would be a different button to click Update WordPress, which I would make sure I did that before I update the plugins. So now I'm just going to select all of these plugins and click Update. Okay, this process can take a while, so make sure you are patient and let everything update. So 5 out of 5 have updated successfully, and now I always like to visit the site quickly to make sure nothing broke on the website. Everything's still looking as it should, which I can see it's fine. And that's it. Okay. So that's updates. If you do have any further questions about updates, just look this up on Google. This is how I learnt to do WordPress and websites, just asking on YouTube and Google. Okay, that's it for this video.